Go ahead and sync this up here. I'll probably go with the goat. That would be a good skin for this kind of occasion. Black. I think I should go more traditional. And we'll go ahead and enter. Hello everyone, Ethan here. It is currently 5:43 p.m. The sun is almost completely down. But I have had this idea for a little bit now of what if, just like when it came to computers, going way back, we had the AOL dial-up, and there are people who boot up AOL dial-up, the familiar sound, and after done doing whatever they wanted to, and they shut down their PC, they would not be aware that a couple years further down the line, time just gets away from you, and before you know it, it's no longer a thing, and AOL has disappeared, and modern technology takes over. Oh, I hate this. Just a sec here. I need to change this. Settings. Let's see, graphics, I believe. Footprint? No, it was shadows, wasn't it? Depth of field. Reflection. Possibly that one. It's not. There's a ring of light around my animal player shadow. That's what it was. There we go. Kind of bugs me. Anyways, I got a little sidetracked there. My apologies. But I have wondered, and I cannot shake the feeling off, so I had to make this video. But I have wondered, when is it that Meadow is going to finally get shut down? The server for it. Nobody knows. But it feels like it's only a matter of time. Many players have these kind of concerns, and no one really has the answer for them. So it kind of just brings up the feelings of sadness, depression, that a game that you is very unique and that you've enjoyed for quite a while, at some point it will go away. It will be taken from you. Players might, most ambitious ones, might actually look for a plan B if that ever happens, and see if there's some way they can bring Meadow back. But just like back then, the world that you knew just no longer is. So, a little bit of mumbling here and just rambling, but I'll get to the point here. I wanted to make this video as what would I do if this was the last night that I was able to log onto the server in Meadow and see this world. Because there could be a chance that might happen, Nothing lasts forever. So what would I do? Well, I'm currently in the snow biome. What would I do? This is the last night that I'm able to log onto the server. Announcement's made. We can no longer support this server, and we have to shut it down. And the small community, though thriving, will have to find something else. It's a little hard to think about, but let's see. Let's go back to the tree. Most of my Meadow videos that I've made, they capture the moments, but I have never made a video that where the player is almost like it's acting, but pretending that they may never see this game again. That's the wrong button. Use this one. Well, there are some players around, so I believe it's like 11. Let's see. There's a few. Well, for one thing, I like to go to my favorite spot. One of my favorite spots. It's taking me a little bit to work into this mood here. This is a center tree here, and there's been a lot of friendships made and lots of events that have been hosted around this tree. Whenever the devs do their meetups, there are around possibly 30 players, almost a full server. Someone come to say hello to me. What in the world? Gred, yo! It's been a while, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you're doing well. I have none of my keys bound though, man. Just give me a sec here. I want to do this. And I wonder if they'll understand this. See if he'll take that. We'll figure that out or not. Red Sedicate, that's the last thing I would expect to see on Meadow. Let's see, he's still playing. Anyways, map please. This way. There are a lot of Meadow videos that I've made that have shown the world of Meadow. A good part of it, actually. If I've not covered everything except a couple of secrets that more longtime players know about. For example, there is a floating island in the autumn area, I believe, inside one of the caves. A floating area just underneath a hole in the ground. A giant hole. But other than that, on my channel, I've shown a lot of the world of Meadow. To the point where if people wanted to find what Meadow looked like, all they had to do was just watch my videos. There's actually specifically a video called The Tour, the Meadow Tour, where I show a large proportion of the place. Wish it was daytime while I'm playing this. It's daytime in the Meadow game, in-game time. But hey, if the game's going to be going down the next day, when the sun comes back up, really, there's no way to pick and choose the right times to say things and to do things, because there never is. So it's better just to go ahead and do whatever you're going to. Just a sec here. Pardon me, if I made a loud noise, I'll probably take care of that in the editor. Adjust my earbud. But yeah, you can't pick and choose when to do things and when to say things. You can plan for them, but when it comes to things like this, if you decide to wait and try to find a better day, that chance might actually slip by. So this is a friend of mine's favorite spot. I would visit this. And just take it in, really. Other videos I've made has captured this in a better setting. The friend's favorite spot video, I believe. I'll put some links in the description. I would like to know would like to ask one of the devs who's responsible for making the world what inspired them to make this location. Really, I would like to speak to the devs, one of the devs responsible for making the world of Meadow, and just to ask them questions and stuff. Because there's something about this area. I can see why it would be my friend's favorite spot. Just something about this area that is just speaks to you in a way. Yes, after looking at that, and might as well go ahead and wave goodbye to it. Controls not working properly. Interesting. I wanted to use my effects, but that's not working for some reason. Oh well. I'll do this instead then. Oh, come on. There we go. My visit's done. Last day of Meadow. I would like to see the autumn area. I always have a hard time trying to find it though. And the only way I can find it is if I get to a high mountain and really get a view of the area. I've never been good with directions. Also, would you just give me a moment real quick here to make sure I'm still recording. And it looks like I still am, so that's good. This video's going on 14 minutes now. Don't know if it's going to be long or short, but I think 14 minutes is already considered a long one. Maybe 30 minutes. But I always, like I said, have a hard time trying to find the... I think going in the opposite direction, actually. Let's go this way instead. If it was the last day of Meadow. Well, I guess while on our trip there, I'll just talk about some of my memories about Meadow. I can't really talk about specific ones because it really, when you play the game for this long, a lot of memories just tend to blend into each other. But I've met many Badger Cubs. Those are new players or players who have chosen to play as the animal. That's a snow area? Okay, gotcha. I believe the mud is over here. If I find the mud, oh, I think I see it. Yep, I'm going the right way. Excuse me, but yes, I've met many Badger Cubs, many new players. I've gone on many adventures. And there's a lot of moments that I've had that I'm glad I was able to record. There are a few that I didn't record because at the time I just didn't really see the need to do it. But when I just started to see people really interested in the game, and I got over my camera shy, whatever you want to call it, kind of phase, I started to really put myself in public. I did a Sleeping Wolves live stream for, I believe it was just a year. It was almost like an experiment where I would take a white wolf and have it sleep at the center of the tree and see what players would do about it, how they would react to it, especially when I started to keep it as a routine thing. And it had a really good reception. I'm not sure what the proper word is for it, but it was received pretty well. Players would sit next to it and go to sleep as well and take their pictures and then go on about their way. And then I would also host Sleeping with Wolf events where massive people could then sleep next to the wolf, take their pictures, and do whatever they wanted to. Because it gave their chance also to be on video as well, being recorded. You would do silly things or do nice things, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, since it's nighttime, the autumn area does not really pop as much as it would when it's daytime. So I can't really see it in all its beauty. But that doesn't mean there's still some there. There still isn't any of it there. You can still see some of it. This is my favorite spot, really. This is the autumn area. If it was daytime, there would be a pinkish kind of hue. These trees would be showing off that pink color as well. And I believe in some of my videos I actually took in that experience as well when it was daytime. But this is my last day on Meadow, my last time able to log into this game. I would like to take it in. Around here, there's been a few times I would get mixed up in some groups that would go treasure hunting, looking for shards. But to speak quite honestly, not much really happens around this area that I recall. None of my adventures have really happened around this area. There was one time I actually came across a player, someone that I was actually was very popular at the time, and they had a unique way of playing Meadow, and they just played it for the adventure, and so I just tagged along and played it in their style. It was a very interesting experience. I'm really glad I was able to get the chance to do that. But other than that, players would mostly just gun it through this area and work their way over to here or over to there to get to an area that's guaranteed to have more stones. Perhaps this reason why this area is not really visited is because the stones don't spawn so much around here that give you those shards. But the first spot that I showed you and this one, it's probably like one of my most favorite ones. I think. Do this real quick, actually. Keep with what I'm doing now. Do this. What does this do? Oh, it's a sniffing notification. If you really wanted to role play as an animal. I think from here, I want to go ahead and go back to them. That's what I want to do. I want to change into the eagle. That'll make traversing the area much faster. By the way, to anyone who is not aware, to get the eagle, you have to own a bunch of stuff from Meadow, from Might and Delight, in order to unlock it. The price tag for the animal, for the bird, at the time, I believe was $25 or $30. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. This is just where I wanted to be, actually. This is also an area where, when it comes to graphics, you don't really need to do much to impress somebody. To make the Aurora Borealis, they actually just, I think, just took an object and gave it that shape, that color, and just gave it the effect. And just made it ripple back and forth. It was a magical moment when I first stumbled upon the winter area. It was actually at night. It was on top of that hill right there. I actually was leading 2 badger cubs. And we were just climbing the hill. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, that is amazing. You can easily get lost in this area, and especially with large groups as well. They tend to split up when they get to this point. But even more so if you reach a cave, because caves can be confusing, especially in there. I believe there's 3 or 4 entrances that you can find yourself stumbling upon, if not dead ending, finding a dead end. Yeah, we ran across there, we went up the hill, and just around that area over there is where I stopped and actually saw the winter area and took it all in. And it was a long journey, so that's where we actually stopped at. It's really nice. I'll go ahead and show the entrance to the cave. The entrance to the cave is actually right here, through this waterfall. Right in there. I used to be able to go through these waterfalls. They've actually put physics now, like object physics into it. You actually can't go through it, they've made an object. Interesting. The same one for this. I wonder how they do that. Players would, I recall players actually having fun with this thing right here, actually going over here, acting like they're having a soapy bath. Waterfall, I should say. But I don't know if it's just the eagle or if it's just all animals who can't really go through it anymore. It's a strange choice. I've made so many Meadow videos that there isn't really much for me to revisit other than just talking about the memories of it. So in that sense, I can actually feel good that I have so many videos of the game. Because if I ever got homesick, or whatever you want to call it, just missing the game. But even though I can't really access the servers anymore, I can still access my videos and see those moments relived. But if Meadow were to go down the next day, I can say that I have recorded and documented pretty much everything that I held dear to the game. I just don't like nighttime when it comes to things like this, these kind of feelings, because the bad things tend to come out, and they are stronger at night than they are in the daytime. But if you can't handle the night, then you have to learn to, because the night will eventually come, just as the day will. Heavy freaking talking right now. I'm just in that mindset now, just seeing the last stage of this game possibly. And the center of the tree. You can go as high as you want to with Eagle, by the way. If you actually go to a certain height, the game will initiate the effect that happens when you jump off the world. So what it's doing is it's registering that you're going way above the skybox, whatever it is. But I can go up here to the tree with no problem at all. When I first played this game, I was... Oh, so it's Q. Gotcha. It's strange. Usually it's E. When I first started playing this game as a Badger Cub, there was a night that I logged on that there were a lot of players, and there were 4 eagles flying around the tree and talking to each other. And despite me trying to get their attention for them to come down so I could take a closer look at them, they didn't really acknowledge me at all. They were just doing their own thing. So when I unlocked the eagle through buying the DLCs and stuff, I made it a point whenever I saw a player that I would actually go down and visit them and say hi. Because really the eagle is the top of the top when it comes to animals. It offers the most freedom when it comes to exploring the world of Meadow. And people look up to the eagle. Coming up on 30 minutes. Yeah, I've pretty much recorded a big chunk of Meadow, and also certain videos as well that I'll link in this video. But other than that, man, I think it's like, what, just 1, 2, maybe even 3 spots that I just wanted to say my goodbyes. Of course, also the tree. One of the heart of Meadow. Center tree. All this is climbable as well. Players would challenge themselves to climb as high as they can with, as an animal on the tree. It is a sad feeling. It really is. But honestly, for a game that's been around for 6 years, it's been around for a while. And the experiences that players have had in this game, and the things that they've learned, they take those skills with them, the ambition and also the drive, and put that towards whatever project they have set for themselves, whatever goals. But the biggest message I get from the dev team and the world of Meadow and just what its objective was, it was to connect. Connect, be kind, and really enjoy when there's company. There are players who wish for solitude, who are not overly, what is the word I'm thinking of? Sociable, I should say. And the devs took account with that, and that's the reason why there are different groves within the servers. 7 or 8 to be total. So if someone wanted to be in solitude and just go collecting or just exploring on their own, they have that option too. But if Meadow ever goes down, I hope that someone picks it up or takes the ideas and continues on the idea and helps it to continue to grow. Because you cannot count on a dev team to just support a game for a lifetime. It doesn't really happen. 20 years, 25 maybe, max, if the community is still strong and they still have the sufficient funds to keep the servers up running. But even then, the players would try to still carry it on. But I try not to think about it so much. What I think about instead is just the adventures I had and just the privilege to have had those experiences and to have met those people. They don't really have an ad feature in the game where you can automatically add somebody on the player list. You just have the mute, turn off voice, I believe, and I'm not sure what this one does. Maybe it highlights them. Oh, right. Before I end this video. So Gred Sedicate is one of my Steam friends, and me and them don't really talk much. We did in the past, but they've been on my friends list, and I just really never really heard from them. They would pop in and out, pop on and off, but they don't really talk to me. So it was a surprise for me actually to bump into them, because I was actually wondering recently if they still play Meadow or not. So that was a strange surprise to actually get that question answered on a day that I decide to record for a somber reason. I was actually telling a Discord friend that I should just change my name to the Somber Goat, because most of my recent videos are just about sad things. But I can handle the sad and find, hope in that as well. And I think that's it for my ramblings, really. If Meadow were to go down tomorrow, I've pretty much done all I want to. As far as I could have decided to go and join players and see what they're up to. But when you've played the game as much as I have, you know what those adventures would be like. But I'm only recording this video for a specific purpose. If it was the last day of Meadow, I would like to take in the world rather than follow players around, help them look for things, because they have their own goals and objectives. And I could have decided I'll go ahead and record this video on a weekend or something, or wait until it's actually a daytime kind of why is that showing? Go away. Go away. Daytime kind of setting where it's bright and everything. But if it was the last day of Meadow and I decided to do that, I would never have this opportunity to do that. So I'd rather go ahead and take it now while I can. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I would encourage anybody who watches this video, you play Meadow, make a video like this. You don't have to record yourself saying anything. Just name it, what would I do if it was my last day? The last time able to log on to the server. I wish there were more people who record Meadow, but it's really, I've said it before in my videos, you have to make time for this game, and time is something that's very precious, and it has a small community and a small range for people that want to, someone might prefer a game where it's like high octane and you've got objectives and such. Still has but there are that select few who play the game to meet other people, go on adventures, and unlock things, and try to connect that way as well with people who like the kind of games that they like in the small community. But yeah, that's enough for me. Anyways, not sure how to really end this video. Last day of Meadow. Right here is the spot where I would have the sleeping white wolf. Right over here, on these yellow flowers here. I, for a second, do not regret putting that time and effort into making the sleeping white wolf an actual thing. Because it was really nice to capture. Anyways, you guys take care out there. And long live Meadow. See you later.